Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about the not so good Winnie Mandela, and today is her birthday. September 26th is her birthday. She's 81 years old, and I do not believe she was a good person. I believe she was horribly evil. Now, she did do some good things in the 1960s and the 1970s. She participated in the Soweto uprising in 1976. She had organized a lot of anti-apartheid struggles in the 60s and 70s that were good. And when her husband, Nelson Mandela, who was her husband at the time, when he got sentenced to 27 years in prison, she was faithful and loyal at first. There was not infidelity at first, but that changed. And the 1980s, she just took a turn for the worse, and this is where she became horribly evil. Let me explain, okay? All right. First of all, Winnie Mandela was quoted as saying, and this was an actual quote, she said, "With our necklaces, we shall liberate the country." Okay? Here's what necklacing means. Here's what necklaces are in that case, and here's what necklacing is. Okay, necklacing is where you would put someone who was a suspected police informant or someone that your political group didn't like. You would put a big tire around them, you would soak them and the tire in gasoline, and you would burn them, and they would be burned alive. She has been accused of necklacing and has been accused of ordering necklacing. Okay, and the New York Times did an article where her former bodyguard, Jerry Richardson, said that he killed a lot of times at Miss Mandela's request. Okay, he testified before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission found Winnie Mandela guilty of a lot of this. Desmond Tutu did say that he did recognize Winnie Mandela's anti-apartheid activism and the good things she did in the anti-apartheid struggle, but he also said she needs to be apologized for the crimes that she committed, and her apology was hardly sincere. She said things went wrong, or things had gone wrong, and you could tell there was no remorse in her eyes or on her face when she said something like that. And that's one reason her and Nelson Mandela split up. And there was also like an intense disagreement that Winnie and Nelson Mandela had about whites, whereas Winnie was horribly anti-white and Nelson Mandela was not. And that was one of many reasons, one of many factors that led to their divorce. And Winnie Mandela had to pay some fines. She was elected president of the ANC Women's League, but she got accused of embezzling funds when she had those political positions. So she had basically, and this happened after her and Nelson Mandela divorced, but she had a place there during Nelson Mandela's presidency, but she was dismissed on the grounds of embezzling funds. But back to what her bodyguard, Jerry Richardson, said. Some of the killings that he said he committed, after he told her he committed them, she would hug her and say, my boy, and like be very happy. And Winnie Mandela and her cronies, they were accused of putting together a soccer team. It was called the Mandela United Football Team. But the team rarely played football. They were ordered basically to attend funerals and go out and beat and kill people on the orders of Winnie Mandela. And Nelson Mandela called for the abolishment of this football team because this football team was behind a lot of beatings and murders, or this soccer team. This soccer team was behind a lot of beatings and murders. And Jerry Richardson had testified that they did go to that Methodist church that was ran by an Afrikaner, white South African, and this white South African was an anti-apartheid minister, and he did not sexually abuse the black kids that he housed, but her organization wanted to frame him for it, and so they kidnapped 6 of the boys, and they beat and tortured them until these guys confessed that the minister molested them, which he did not do. But one of the 14-year-old boys, his first name was Stumpy, and he was also suspected of being a police informant, and he was beaten so bad he was killed. Winnie Mandela ordered them to dump the body. It's a sick situation. So let's go back to the crimes, okay? When she was active in politics, particularly had a political position, she embezzled funds. basically stole money. Number two, she ordered the beatings of several of kids, and she ordered the killing of a 14-year-old boy. Number three, the soccer team was not really a soccer team. It went out and beat and killed in the name of her. Number four, she ordered necklacing, and that has been documented that she ordered necklacing of people. So I don't think this is somebody people should be celebrating. Now, Nelson Mandela is a different story. He's nothing like his ex-wife. But his ex-wife, Winnie, she's still alive, 81 years of age. She's a piece of work, to say the least. Just horrible. Ordering necklacing, just putting a tie around somebody so they can't move or barely move, and then soaking somebody in gasoline and then throwing a match or a lighter on them, burning them to die a slow and painful death. That's just sick. And it's evil and it's messed up. That's why when Nelson Mandela passed away in 2015, Winnie Mandela was not given anything in his will, and nor should she have been given anything in his will. She didn't deserve it. And the EFF is sarcastically calling calling Winnie Mandela the first South African female president. No. Okay? No. Nelson Mandela was the president from 1994 to 1999, not Winnie Mandela. Heck no. And that's where the EFF is just wrong. I think the ANC is wrong to be wishing her a happy birthday because she is not somebody that needs to be celebrated. She had ordered murder. She had advocated torture. Even though, like Jerry Richardson said, she did not participate in. She did not do the killings. She did order the killings, and like before the killings took place, sometimes like she would hit and slap the person around. Just sad. And yeah, Jerry Richardson was a police informant, but he confessed that to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. He also confessed that when the New York Times did the article. So he admitted that. So after he admitted that, he didn't lie about what he was doing. So why would he lie about what Winnie Mandela is doing? It doesn't add up. And he became a police informant after he was just sick and tired of doing all the evil stuff that Winnie Mandela had ordered him to do. Just sad. It doesn't justify what he did, being a police informant for the apartheid government, but also under the leadership of Winnie Mandela like that, and just having to see all the necklacing and stuff, that can mess with your head. You want to just get out of it or do something about it. So anyways, hope I was doing well. Take care. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.